Hello, thanks for clicking on my video. Welcome to my channel, Lovely Moments Creating. If this is your first time here, consider joining the family by clicking that subscribe button and remembering the notification bell so that you'll be reminded when I upload a video. My name is Jenny, and on this channel I create budget-friendly home decor that's easy to do. So if you want to see some of my creations, keep watching.
Thank you for tuning in and watching our mother's video. We truly appreciate it.
Today's video is part of the monthly friend collab that I participate in with all of these lovely ladies. The host of this collab is Liana DIY, and her guest channels for the month is the Crafty Quinn, Crafty Kathy, and Indiana Jones. I'm going to have all of their information linked in the description box below, as always. And so I'm going to jump into the first DIY. What I'm going to be using is one row of this decorative rope from the Dollar Tree. Now I have 3 rows out here, but I'm only going to be using one. I also have these Canadian stem picks here, and I did pick this up from Hobby Lobby. I believe this pack was $3.99. What I'm going to do is just open up the rope. Now, as you know, the Dollar Tree rope have the little plastic wrapped around the ends, and I'm going to leave that on the first one because as I start rolling it, it's going to be tucked in and you're not going to see it, and I wanted to keep it there so I can keep the rope together and it does not unravel. As I'm rolling my rope, I'm going to be adding glue as needed to keep everything nice and secure. So I just want to say that this is my first time doing Christmas in July. I have seen this done on social media by several other creators, and I was a little nervous at first about attempting it because, like I said, I never did Christmas in July, and I'm usually just still hanging on to the summer, but I was like, I'm going to give this a try. And then I'm just creating some really simple pieces that I can put up and break out later during the Christmas season. Now that I have almost completely circled this entire row, I'm coming to the end, and I am going to cut the little end off, the plastic end, when I get to the last little piece so I can cut it off in a little slant and then tack it down with some hot glue. After I get that complete, what I'm going to do is take that Canadian stem garland, and I did get that from Hobby Lobby. I believe I said that early in the video. I really like these. This pack is $2.99 at Hobby Lobby, but I love how neat these are. And so what I'm going to do is wrap a couple of rows around this. I just want to give it a nice thick trim, and I think this piece is going to be good for layering. I may add something on this in the kitchen or create a centerpiece with this. I thought this was kind of simple and neutral, and it's just bringing in the garland, and that way you could add some festive decor on this. But this year I'm going to be doing something a little different for Christmas. I'm going to tone down the colors that I usually use, and I'm going to do more of a neutral Christmas with maybe a hint of the traditional colors. Now I'm going to go around that with 2 more of the garland stems, and I believe I just use a total of 4. So these, I do have to add a numerous amount of hot glue to keep these nice and secure. So I do suggest maybe using a super glue. So after I get this last piece tacked down, that will be it for this decor piece. And like I said, I'll be using this probably as base for a centerpiece, and later on in this video with some other DIYs I create, you will see how I pretty much just layered this piece. And now I'm going to get started on the next DIY, and what I'm going to be using is this vase from the Dollar Tree, some more of those garland stems, and I'm going to use another row of the decorative rope from the Dollar Tree. What I'm going to do is start around the neck of this vase and hot glue this entire row all the way around. It's not going to completely go all the way to the bottom, but it's going to stop exactly where I wanted this to stop. Now I really do love how this vase turned out, and I am super excited for the holiday season to style this vase. So I'm just going to continue wrapping, and then I'm going to tack down the last piece. Once I get that complete, I'm going to start adding my garland. Now first I'm going to add one of the stems right to the top rim of the vase, and I'm going to go back in later and add another stem at the top. After I get that one tacked down, I'm going to just start adding the stems to the remaining part of the vase at the bottom. And I'm going to finish off this vase with those stems by covering up the rest of the glass. And so as you can see, I'm just adding some hot glue and tacking down the garland. I have to hold the garland tightly until it dries and connect. So once it dries and connect, it's nice and secure. And I'm just going to continue that, adding the different stems. And so this pack of stems that I did get from Hobby Lobby, you got a nice amount in this pack because I still had some left over to use for some future DIYs. So as you can see, I'm coming to the bottom, so I'm going to add a few more pieces, and then I'm going to go back and add one more stem to the top rim of this vase. And so now I'm going to add the last stem that I'm going to use on this to the very top of the vase. I originally was just going to add one, but as I started adding them, I thought it would look nicer to add one more. I think this came out really cute, and I did pick up some pine cone stems from Hobby Lobby for 99¢. I added that to the vase, and I think this came out so pretty. This is one of those pieces that I cannot wait to style in my home for the holidays. Now I'm going to get started on the next DIY. I have one of these little wood houses from the Dollar Tree. I always pick up these little toy wood kits to use the scrap pieces, and I'm going to be using those transfer stickers and some of that macrame rope. I'm going to pull out one of these little pieces to add to my house. What I'm going to do first is paint both of these pieces. I have this burnt umber color that I'm going to use for the house, and I'm going to paint the entire piece. And these colors that I'm using are some of the colors that I already have styled in my home now, so when the season comes, these will blend in already with some existing decor. So after I get this painted, I'm going to paint the little wood piece using some sage color. And off of that transfer sticker sheet from the Dollar Tree, I'm cutting out the words celebrate and the word joy. I'm just going to transfer those over to the little wood piece just by adding the plastic and then just rubbing over them. You can use a little tool. I don't have one handy now, so I'm just using my fingers and my scissors to just rub over the transfers, and then I'm just going to make sure that they all transfer over nicely, and then I'll pull up the plastic. Once I get that complete, I am going to take that rope and I am going to attach it in the back, on the back of the house, using some hot glue, and I am going to wrap this around the center of the house. I'm just going to be adding some hot glue right along the center and then just continue wrapping it. That is plenty enough to keep this nice and secured. After I get enough wrapped around, I'm just going to tack the excess down in the back with some hot glue and clip off the remaining, and then I'm just going to trim the top part of that off. Once I get that complete, what I'm going to do is take one of those stems and I'm just going to bend it in the shape of a little wreath. And then once I get that together, I'm just going to hot glue that to the top of my little wood house. And then after I get that attached, I'm going to take my little Celebrate Joy sign and I'm going to hot glue that right in the center. I left some space right on the side of the word joy so that I can add a little bow. So I'm just going to tie a little simple basic bow, and then I'm going to hot glue that right next to the word joy. I'm going to clip the tails down and just fray them a little bit. And then after I get all of that complete, that will be it for this little house. I think this came out absolutely adorable. For my last DIY, if you're used to my channel, you know I love decorating these Dollar Tree candles. And I'm going to be using some of these little garland pieces and pine cones that I have. So what I'm going to do first is use that burnt umber paint, and I'm going to paint the bottom of the candle with that color. I'm not trying to be neat or anything because I am going to be adding some of that rope to this candle. So after I get the bottom portion of this painted with the burnt umber, I am going to go over the top with the sage color, and I'm not going to go all the way to the very top. And so once I get the top part painted, then that's when I'm going to start adding my rope. So I'm just going to attach it in the center right where the two colors meet, because I'm going to make sure that I cover up the uneven paint. So that's why I didn't try to be neat, because you're not going to see it anyway. So I'm just going to wrap it around a few times, and then I'm going to tack it down with some hot glue and just cut off the excess. Once I get the middle section done, I'm going to go to the top and I'm going to add some of this rope around the top portion of this candle. Once I have that complete, I'm going to start adding the little pick and the pine cones to the candle, and I'm just going to tack it down right in the center on that rope, and then just add a few dots of the hot glue so that I can tack down the pieces at the top. After I get that tacked down, then I'm just going to go in and add those two little pine cones down to the bottom of the pick. And once I add these two little pine cones, that will be it for this candle. I absolutely like how this turned out because I love decorating these Dollar Tree candles. I wasn't quite ready for Christmas, but I said, let me give this a try. This was my first time doing Christmas in July, and it actually was so much fun. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. I think everything came out simple and cute. So thank you all so much for tuning in and watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed this video just as much as I did. If so, please remember to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already done so, subscribe to my channel because I would love to have you here. As always, in the comment section below, let me know which one of these were your favorite. Also, let me know if you were ready for some Christmas in July. Also, this video is part of a friend collab that I participate in each month. And this month theme was Christmas in July. Thank you to all of the creators creators that participated in this collab. Make sure you check the description box below for the links to the host's channel and the co-host for the month. And make sure you check out the playlist. There's going to be some amazing creations. Even if you're not ready for Christmas, save these videos for when the season comes. You will have some inspiration. Until next time, my friends, stay safe so that I can see you in the next video.